Hey everyone, I'm Kevin. Welcome back to KDX Bricks Analytics, where we talk everything Lego investing and reselling. And as promised in the last video, this is the final 2024 data review of the not top Lego sets for investing. After this video, I'll be on to the 2025 data that I've already started collecting. So let's get into this. Same as last video, instead of scrolling through my spreadsheet, I made a bunch of tables with some images and details. There's a lot of sets on here. I am definitely not going to go through them all. Please pause as you're going through the video if you want to look at any of the details on these sets that I don't talk about. And for all the details on how I collect this data, definitely check out the first couple of minutes of my last video. In the 12 months of 2024, I watched 540 videos across 24 channels with almost 6,000 individual Lego set mentions. In this video, 1,114 of those mentions were against investing for sets that retired at the end of 2024, but many of them have lingering stock available on the shelves or online. Of course, this is the not top sets table, so most of them are hard passes. Let's get into the number one set talked about to avoid for investing this year, the Atari 2600 set 10306. It got 41 total mentions against investing. Here it is at Brick Set. Awesome picture. Awesome build, $240 set, already started out overpriced and it's going for $150 at best. So losing 30% of your investment at this point if you bought it at retail. I still love the build, but yep, we all had it pegged correctly that it was a bad investment. I do have to self-report that I was a little bit interested in it when it first came out and earlier this year, but as the demand data showed all through the middle part and end of this year, it clearly was going to be a bad investment. But it is sold out at lego.com, so there won't be much zombie stock. Our second most not top set is the large UCS Hulkbuster 76210, 35 mentions against investing. Here's a recent eBay sale for $420 with about $16 of shipping. And honestly, that's not terrible. It's a $550 set, so huge loss if you bought it retail. But this set was discounted, I think up to 40% for a pretty long time. Here it is on Brick Set. Not a good build, only a 3.6 rating. However, I'd be remiss if I didn't show you Rebrickable one last time because I probably won't talk about this set maybe ever again in one of my videos. This is the main build, but the great thing about Rebrickable is that there are alternate builds. So let's click on this one right here. And that's what everybody's talking about. That is an amazing build. And you can buy the directions to build this much better Hulkbuster for $20. And the cool thing is this is only using pieces from this set. So you don't have to grab other sets or other pieces to build this out. And this again is such an amazing mock. Credit to the designer. Our third not top set is BTS Dynamite, 31 mentions against. I'm gonna gloss over that one because we've talked about it a lot recently. Fourth is Chewbacca 75371, 31 mentions against. It's a $200 set. I've been saying for a long time, get it around $100 or $120, which was possible when you stack cashback and GWPs, and it's been on sale a lot. But I was thinking that would be a good buy-in price, and here we are on eBay, $200 shipped. This sold price definitely gets me excited. $200 shipped, subtract, call it $30 for shipping. Now you're down to $170. Subtract another $30 for the 15% fees here in the US, and shout out to UK and I think many parts of Europe where there are no longer any eBay fees for personal accounts, so that's awesome. But here in the US, we still got to pay about the 15%, so that subtracts another $30, which brings us down to $140. If your buying price was $100, then that's already a 40% ROI, and I think this one still has a little bit of runway too. So at an equivalent $100 buying price, it might turn into a 75% ROI in a year or so. I think I only have one. I might have got a second one, and I'm definitely going to build one for myself. I'm not looking forward to the build. I've heard that it's pretty miserable because of all the brown pieces and all the layering in here, but I definitely want to have a built one in my collection. And I've mentioned this before with the new C3PO and the smaller R2D2. Those three are going to look awesome together. I know the face isn't perfect, but it continues to grow on me. So if I only have the one, it's got to be in my own personal collection. And then the fifth not top set is the Target exclusive hoopty, 29 mentions against. Shocker of all shockers, it's actually already sold out at lego.com. I know they had to discount it at 40% off, but still, I thought that would linger for a while. I was thinking it needed to go to 60% off to really clear these out. I mean, check this out. The ratings are what, a 2.5 on lego.com? That is horrendous, since it really seems like the lego.com ratings are quite inflated. To me, the brick set ratings are a lot more accurate. I've seen some terrible sets on lego.com with 4.2, 4.4, but this one looks like it is a true number at a 2.5. I know the two exclusive minifigures are actually actually worth a little something. Ms. Marvel is almost $20, and then Photon is almost $15. That's great to see, but the 3 minifigures really doesn't make up enough of the difference at the 40% off. So for me, I wasn't going in unless it was 70% off, which I knew would basically never happen. So goodbye, Hoopty. I'm sure this is the last video that I ever talk about you. Next up is 40613, the mini Disney Palace of Agrabah, 28 mentions. Here it is on Brickset. It definitely had a strong, consistent movement against investing in it. $40 set on sale for 30% off for a long time on lego.com. And this is crazy, but check it out. Here it is for $40 shipped, $36, $35. I know at a $28 buying price, you're still losing money, but I'm just pleased to see that I'm not going to get totally cleaned out on the 2 that I picked up. One I'm definitely building for personal collection. The other one I'll hold on to for years, maybe 10 or 15 years from now. It'll be worth $100. Who knows? 7th is the Little Mermaid Royal Clamshell, 21 mentions against. $160 set, which is crazy expensive. I know it's underwater and coral and that's all jumbled up and chaotic anyways, but this is way too busy for me. For many, many reasons, we all knew this one was not going to be a good investment here on eBay. 110, a random $150 one. Not sure what's going on there. 130. King Triton is $20. Another 130, 99. So it's all over the place, but I don't think there is much runway left on this one. I did want to show you the Ursula minifigure down here. There you go. $20 for Ursula. That's awesome. I do love that minifigure. And then 8th on the list is the Endgame Final Battle, 21 mentions against. This is another one that was easy to peg as a very bad investment. $100 set, way overpriced, really messy build. So basically $100 for the minifigures. I get that it's a scene that is recognizable and somewhat cool, but it doesn't translate to Lego very well. So I don't know why people would want to display this. It's really messy and ugly. So at the end of the day, to me, it comes down to the minifigures, only a 3.6 on Brickset. And here on eBay, $100 set, remember, $54, $55, $50 before shipping. Like I said in past videos, I walked by a number of these multiple times at $50 in my Walmarts. And I'm sure if I held them for 3 years, I could make 10 or 15 bucks, but not something I wanted to dive in on. Jade Rabbit and the Shelby we'll gloss over, 18, 17 mentions against. Pirate Snub Fighter, a $35 set, 15 mentions against. And here's a screenshot of a recent listing that sold on eBay for $21, including shipping. So $15 before shipping. Subtract the couple of dollars for fees and you're down to $12 on a $35 retail price set. That was an easy pick to avoid. Tennu Jedi Temple, the 4+ set, Spider Tank, and the N1 Starfighter I talked about in my last video. Same thing with Captain America's shield. Venomized Groot. Groot and Venomized is way overdone. We are fatigued out on those. So yep, easy pass. I talked about the Hogwarts Express Collector's Edition last video. It's actually doing okay. Then 4 Avatar sets that retired in July. Not performing well. We'll skip over those. And then Asha's Cottage 43231, 12 mentions against. DG and I have been making fun of me for months now because I picked up 3 of them at 50% off, which would be $25. And here they are on eBay, $23 shipped, just over $20 shipped. I only have 3. I got this one updated on Brickset. I still love the stickers and the pieces, and I still think it'd be fun to put all 3 together and build a fully enclosed house. And that's mostly why I ended up getting them. Of course, I should have waited and not got them at 50% off, but got them at 80% off because this set did very poorly. So if I were wanting to resell these, I'd be getting cleaned out. So it's time to close the chapter on Asha's Cottage, even though I'm sure DG will bring it up to poke me for years to come. On to the next page of our table, the UCS ATAT, 11 mentions against. Sounds like a decent number against investing, but everybody was confident that this $800 set would grow in value. Here we are, over $1,100 shipped, and this one was auctioned with 2 bids. There have been some sold recently for $1,200, $1,300. I think we would all say as expected. So these 11 mentions against are actually a little misleading. It was pretty much everybody saying, hey, it's going to go up in value. It's the first UCS ATAT, but they didn't want to take the risk on an $800 set, and they didn't want to deal with storing and shipping an $800 set. You put $800 into one set and you get unlucky and something happens to that set, get some water damage or something else, that's a lot of money lost on one set. So I was in that camp, but I did love the set. And again, I was confident that we'd be off to the races with this one. And then next is another UCS set, Luke Skywalker's Landspeeder, 11 mentions against. This one got tons of hate, even though it was a meme and we all kind of asked for it. I'm saying give it time. Here's one for about $200 with shipping. And then here's one that sold on eBay for about $250 with shipping. Yes, that's terrible compared to the retail price, but it was on sale so much at Target, Lego, other places. You could stack promos, GWPs. I still think this one has some runway. Again, it's the first Landspeeder in UCS form, every single first UCS Star Wars ship has ended up doing really well. At least the past ones have. We'll see what the future ones hold. Yoda's Jedi Starfighter and Loop Coaster, both easy passes. Icons of Play, this Lego exclusive, 10 mentions against, clearly an easy pass. Here it is on Brickset, $100 set for only 900 pieces. Yes, 15 minifigures, but they're all generic. There isn't anything special about them. Some tile pieces. Other than that, the rest of the pieces aren't anything special. Only 497 members on Brickset even own it, so obvious easy pass. It did go to 40% off on lego.com, but it is sold out. And here on eBay, $51 with 15 shipping, 8 bids, and then scrolling down. Now, wait a minute. $110 with shipping included, almost 100 here. That's a low one. Here's another 110 with shipping. I think the world has lost its mind. How are these selling for over $100? Again, this person right here paid more than retail and almost double what it was on sale for because the buyer has to pay the shipping. Now I realize that the seller is only getting about $80 after shipping and fees, but this is insanely high compared to what I thought it would have been. This is an absolute shocker for me. The world has gone mad. I feel like everything I thought I knew about Lego investing is now in question and up in the air. And then a few more with 10 mentions against King Magnifico's Castle, I Am Groot, and Hogwarts Astronomy Tower. And then a long list of 9 mentions against. Not going to highlight any of those. And then a few with 8 mentions against. And now let's look at the Pumpkin Farm real quick. The Minecraft set. There's a little bit of buzz with the Minecraft movie coming out next year. And then after we let Minecraft cool off for a little while and then everybody miss it a little bit on the secondary market, some of these might start to swing back up. So here's a set. It's a $40 set. I don't think it's crazy special, but I think the pumpkin is kind of cool. I'm not a Minecraft player. My kids are. Like the witch over here. So let's check it on eBay. $40 set, 27, another 26. Yeah, so it's about 20 to 27 with shipping. Here's the one for 32. That's very low. So far, not looking good at all for the Pumpkin Farm. I did not pick any of these up for investing. And then on the screen here, I've got a snapshot of the A-frame cabin that sold recently for $235. 7 mentions against. I feel like the investing community just went back and forth and really couldn't decide on this one. Early in the year, some people that were saying, oh, cool, it's retiring at the end of this year. There's some excitement around it. Others were saying, nope, it's never going to do well. And it just seemed to bounce back and forth like a ping pong ball. Here we are out of the gate, $235 on a $180 set. And I do think this one still has some runway. Remember the treehouse, which is kind of similar to this one, has been out for so long because it's so popular. This one had a short, I think 2-year shelf life. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. Next page has a bunch more with 7 mentions against. And one to highlight is the Yavin 4 Rebel Base. Retailed $170. So this one sold for $157 shipped. I bought 2 at $103. So I'd be pretty much breaking even, maybe a slight profit. I really think this one has minimal runway. I don't think the minifigures are special enough. Might creep up a little bit more. I don't feel terrible about the couple that I bought at $103. Maybe I'll get a $30 return on investment. It's only 30%, not great, but hopefully I can do that in 12 months. That's still beating many other areas that we can invest in. Also with 7 mentions against is Expecto Patronum. I want to look this one up real quick. Kind of an interesting set, really ugly, huge missed opportunity for Lego. Needed so many more of the transparent, translucent pieces. The flat blue looks terrible in the build. I saw the build in the Lego store. With the lighting in this picture, it makes it look not as bad. A little more shiny to it, but rough build, and the contrast between the transparent, translucent pieces and the regular solid pieces is not working for me either. $70 set, but some people were saying it was just so unique that maybe something's there. So let's look at eBay. Here it is for almost $70 shipped, $60 shipped, 72. I mean, obviously not great, but not the worst. It could have been a lot lower. I can't imagine many people invest in this one. I don't think it has a much longer runway. Maybe you can make a few dollars after a couple years. The Ideas Treehouse that I just talked about, 21318, 6 mentions against, one of the best sets ever put out by Lego. Came out at $200 that August a few years ago when we got the price increases. It went up to $250. It's been out for I think 7 or so years now, but it's official, finally retired. And $240 before shipping on eBay isn't terrible. And I think this one has a little bit more runway. I'm glad I didn't invest in any because there's just too much of an unknown. No idea how much stock has been sitting out there on the secondary market for years since this has been on the retirement list a couple of times in the past. So folks that picked them up before they got to the end of those years, who knows? Have they liquidated because it's time to move on, or are they just waiting patiently? But it is nice to see a set this great hold some good value on it. The Creator 3-in-1 Main Street, 6 mentions against. It's a decent looking set for a Creator 3-in-1. Looks like it'd be a lot of fun to build, but $140, that is very expensive for the Creator 3-in-1 theme. And that alone is going to turn off its ability to be a good investment. But I do want to look on eBay because I picked up a few at $54 from my local Walmarts. Here we are, 70 plus another 22 shipping, 85, about 100 with shipping, 95. So even at $54, I'm not doing very well on these yet, but I'm glad that I picked them up because $54 for 1459 pieces, I want all these pieces in my collection, worst case scenario. So if I end up selling a couple of them, great. Otherwise, I got some good boxes of some good pieces for the future. Indoor speeder chase diorama. I'm pretty much done talking about dioramas out of spite because the first wave is still not doing well, but I enjoy poking myself at those because I was definitely excited about them. I bought a bunch, but they were all 40 or 50% off, and they're going to do fine another year or two at that price, but I wish they grew a lot faster. So here's a recent that sold on eBay. Remember, indoor speeder chase is $80, 57 plus another $9 of shipping, even at 50% off, not doing well yet, but it's early, just retired. And right above it, I meant to show the Fang Fighter versus TIE Interceptor real quick. This one got talked about a lot, not positively for the most part, but it did get talked about because of the TIE Interceptor. Awesome little build there. Fang Fighter is throwaway. Only one of the minifigures is unique. Surprisingly, already sold out on lego.com. I would have pegged this one for a little bit of zombie stock, but here on eBay, doing about expected, around $80 or so shipped. And then some sets with 5 mentions against. The Stormtrooper mech retailed at $15, $14.99 plus $4 shipping. I really think the fact that the mechs are already being sold when you add on shipping for more than it would have cost you to buy them off the shelf is a good sign. I think there's a decent runway with these. I think we just got to be patient with them. They're small sets. I think they can pair well when you're trying to sell larger Star Wars sets on Marketplace. You know, you can kind of suck people in with, hey, I got some of these too, and do a package deal. So I think there's some value in these. I wouldn't want to load up on 100. And actually, I only got a few because I was waiting for $10 and I just couldn't find them at that price. If they ever did go to that, they sold out quickly. I didn't get them, but I would have liked to have got about 15 each. Instead, I think I only have about 4 each. And then last one on this page is Star-Lord's helmet. We talked about it in last video. It's an $80 set, and I just want to show again. Can't believe the pencil holder is going for 100, 120, 115 on eBay. Part of the build is cool, and part of it I would never want to look at again or have in my collection. So a little bit surprising here, but it was a Target exclusive, and Target exclusives historically do very, very well. The last set with 5 mentions against is Hogsmeade Village, retired in July. $90 set, beautiful build. We've got one, we built it, a lot of fun. Comes with a golden Ron Weasley. A number of folks were saying, hey, this one will go well with winter layouts that people do during the holidays. And so if you look on eBay, here it is for about $90 with shipping, even over $100 in some cases with shipping. I can totally buy that. I still didn't want to invest in it, and I think there's still a little bit more runway left. Not a lot, but if you got it on a 20 or 30% discount, then I think it would have been worth it. The Icons Ghostbusters Ecto 1, 4 mentions against. Here's a quick screenshot, but first let's look at it on Brickset because it's been out since 2020. It's a $240 set. Both of those scare me. Yes, the build is awesome, but I don't know how displayable it is. I know diehard Ghostbusters fans will love it. I love the car in the movies. I love most of the movies, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty ugly car. I know it's dressed up to be an awesome Ghostbuster, but still, I have limited shelf space. I would not want to display this as something that I would enjoy looking at every time I walk into my office. But here's a recent sold on eBay for $310. I realize after shipping fees, the take home works out to about retail price, but I am shocked by that this early into 2025. The Sword Outpost, also 4 mentions against. Talked about in the last video. I'm just saying, give it time. I think that sword is iconic. The movie's coming out. Obviously going to skip over a lot of these sets. And then check this out. The City Ski and Climbing Center. This is the one that I invested in, i.e. I got one for my son for Christmas. He built it. He loved it. Retailed for $120. City set, so definitely on sale, 20 or 30% off from time to time. And here it is, all in over retail price on eBay. More sets to gloss over here in the middle. Again, pause the video as we go. The Icons Corvette. I was one of the few people that was somewhat high on this set. Not crazy high. I thought there was some meat on the bone with this one. $150 set, on sale for $105 and available at $105 for extended periods of time at Target. So we definitely had the opportunity to pick a bunch of them up at that price. Here we are on eBay, $175 with $10 of shipping. Not bad at all. And then last one to highlight real quick is the Fender Stratocaster. It's just a beautiful set. I want to highlight it again because my son got it for Christmas. My youngest son got it for Christmas. He's just starting to learn how to play electric guitar. He loves it. He just opened it up the other day and he's about to build it. He actually also got one of those 3-dimensional wooden puzzle type things of a Stratocaster, much smaller, but he put that together and we got a little case for it. Super awesome. So now he's ready to move on to the Lego. Oh, and I also meant to highlight the Amazing Spider-Man, this art set, 3 mentions against. Not a lot of buzz one way or the other, but there was some talk here and there about how it's a great set. Not so much for investing, but people liked it for display and build experience in their own collection and that kind of thing. Well, $200 set. Brickset says that it's valued at $150 here on eBay. Yeah, $200's good with shipping included. A little bit over $200. So not terrible, but I don't think there's a lot of runway left on this one. And I'm very careful with the art sets. I know some of them in the past have ended up doing pretty well. I still think it's hard to figure out the data on these art sets. And I feel like it's just more of a blind shot than having good data behind it to make good sound decisions with these. So I'm still going to hold off on art sets unless something crazy. Oh, actually, I forgot about that. Starry Night, definitely love that one. And maybe even the Great Wave. But the superhero and people related art sets, I'm generally going to be skipping for now. A bunch of sets with 3 mentions against, I'm generally going to gloss over all these. So instead, I just put 3 nice pictures on here of sets that I think look cool, not for investing, but I do like the Sandman's Tower from the Dreams line. Smaller build, but pretty unique and cool looking. I think I would enjoy having that. The Temple of the Dragon Energy Cores, I think is a very nice build. And then, of course, a nod to KDX Bricks and his love for the Clone Trooper battle packs. But to round out the Star Wars mechs, I do want to show you Darth Vader on eBay, and same thing, already over retail price. And I still think there's some good runway with this one too. And then I got to show you the Typewriter. I talked about it a lot in my last video, but $250 set. We could get it for $200, not easily, so you couldn't stack up a ton of them at $200. I did get 1 or 2. I keep forgetting how many of those I have, but here we are, $365 on January 8th. I think it keeps growing. Some people are saying it's $1,000 set in a couple of years. I feel confident that it'll be a $500 or $600 set in about 18 months. So this one, every time I see this one on eBay, it continues to put a big smile on my face. Even though I don't have too many of them, it's one that I was high on all year long. More sets with 2 mentions against. Again, pretty pictures of the sets that I like on here. Even though investing in the dioramas hasn't worked out, the Emperor's Throne Room is still an awesome build and an awesome scene. Of course, Mos Eisley. And then I talked about how much I love the off-roading and camping vibes from this set. But I do want to show self-report again, Australia postcard. Here it is on eBay. Not my kind of thing. I was vocal and not wanting to invest in this set. I acknowledge that the first one that retired in this sub-theme, which was Paris, has doubled in value, but that, in my opinion, was because of the Olympics. But here we are on eBay. Australia postcard, just a week into 2025, selling for $25 with another $7 of shipping on top, $32 with shipping, $35 with shipping. Get the dunce cap out for me. I totally missed it on this one. And then the Beijing postcard, not quite as good, but still $24 with shipping, $25. So these darn postcards got me again. I'm still not investing in the future ones. At some point, the gravy train's going to lose its steam on these. I'll probably end up being wrong on all of them, and they'll all probably do great. I don't think Lego's making too many more of them anyways. So the last few, for that reason alone, they're still going to be a scarce collection and have some pretty good opportunity. And now just a few more pages with basically mostly decent sets that only have 1 mention against. Obviously, many of these have many mentions for investing, so I'm not going to highlight any of these in detail. Just show some cool screenshots. All of these sets are doing well. The 2 Monkey Kid sets and then the family reunion. I highlighted all these in my last video. And then I like the garbage truck. You always have to have one of those in your city. Penguin slushy van because my son loves penguins, the younger one that is. And then the Disney villains, not because of the build, but because of these 4 minifigures. Disney villain brickheads and minifigures I think are super cool. I'm just so disappointed there aren't like 6 more villain minifigures lined up. That would have made this set awesome. Second to last page of data for you to take a quick look at and some more cool pretty pictures. And then here is the last page with the auspicious dragon that's actually doing pretty well. And then the new dinosaur mold, the first Brachiosaurus we've got in Lego version. Looks cool other than the neck is awful. Lego could have done something here. Maybe a little flexible cloth that stretched a little bit when the neck was up and, folded in just a little bit when it was down. But yeah, it's unfortunately a miss. But still, it's a first new dinosaur mold. Give it some time. I think it'll be a cool set and a cool dinosaur figure to have in many people's collection in the future. All right, that's it. 2024 data is officially closed out. Now I will go back and look at set performance, do some analysis, compare it to my metric, compare it to the metrics and all the data that I collect. I have done a few of those videos. They do not perform as well, not nearly as many views. So I got to figure out how to work that data and maybe weave it into some of my regular videos so that people find it more interesting. I think maybe I just draw on a little too long in those videos. So I'll think about that and work through that. But I'm sure some of the sets that I talked about in my last 2 videos will get highlighted again related to their performance, or we'll use them them as comparables for future sets that are coming out that we might want to invest in. So as always, thanks a lot for watching. Get ready for 2025 data. That's a wrap, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget, my videos are for entertainment purposes only. I do not provide financial advice. You got to get that from somebody else.